What is going on, everybody? We're back on it for one of the final times. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, I think we have going on here. I'm not getting to this until late Saturday night. I mean, I knew it was coming out, but I just forgot how crazy social media gets with, like, when big animes are hitting and premiering. I've been having to duck dodge so much shit on Twitter. It's been absolutely wild. Um, Luckily, I haven't gotten spoiled on anything, so we're good to go on that. It's gonna be pretty much crazy. I know that it's been a lot of, like, people are like, oh, it's gonna be the final season, part 10, part 11. Like, is it ever gonna finish? Me personally, I don't really care. It's. I mean, hey, give me an episode every year for the next year of my life if it gets us there to that point. It doesn't bother me either way. I've seen a lot of people say it's kind of lowered Attack on Titan for them in their kind of like overall rankings because of how they've kind of handled and the delays they've had in previous seasons between seasons. Me personally, I wouldn't even put delays into my thought process of like how I would rank something, because there might be points and periods of other people's lives, like when they get to a series or a certain show, it might be fully complete. So they don't the delays to them were nothing. So I think it's tough. I mean, unless you want to talk Hunter x Hunter, that's a different type of thing. But if they want to delay this final part into however many's, at least they're updated with us. We got dates. We know what's happening. So for me, this doesn't diminish anything as far as like it being, oh, they're splitting this into two parts, and we're gonna get it. That's fine with me. I'm here for. So this is about an hour long or more. I put up a poll for you guys asking me if you wanted me to like split this into two or one. So we'll do one longer one. Just letting you know now, I'm not putting the whole hour long episode on the channel. We'll chop it up and we'll edit it, but it should be a pretty long. I mean, it's an hour long thing that I have to edit, so that's kind of how we'll do it. I'll probably put a background track as well, because I can see it getting copyrighted like crazy. Jumping into the actual context of where we're at in the story, I'm very curious, kind of like how it goes from here, and has Aaron seen past this point? Because us as a viewer, we technically don't know how far he has seen ahead. Like when he kissed Historia's hand, did he see himself successfully completing the Rumble? Did he see himself fully liberating all Eldians? And like, how far did he see? We know pieces were left out along the way to, make him like, you're not going to include Sasha's death and other things because that might get him to hesitate. Um, but has he seen the final picture? And then another question is, we still haven't gotten that answered. I don't know if we will get an answer. What is time in this story, in the universe of Attack on Titan? Is it a constantly reoccurring flowing circle? Is it a thing where everything is happening at once at the same time at all times? But then it's also interesting, it's because he only has this connection with time and being able to communicate with Eldians. He doesn't control or is able to manipulate non-Eldians, you know? So how, if he is kind of like transversing through and time is all at one thing, like, how does what he does affect the rest of the world other than him wiping out the rest of the world? Okay, then it's like, okay, he does, kind of transcend all living beings because the only living beings still around are Eldians. So it's interesting to see, like, does this just get like rebooted over and over? Like, I don't know if time is just a continuous thing. Like, this is the point, like, this point here is where Aaron, you know, they come take the walls, mom gets eaten, and we kind of flow in this direction here. This is when he kisses Historia. He sees everything, and then this is kind of it flowing. Sasha's death, him, getting to the paths, the rumbling, and then does time just like restart itself? But now we go back through with like a kid Aaron and everything, because we saw a kid Aaron in the trailer. Like, now do we go back through time, but this time there's no world to oppose. There's no Titans, but does he also live with the memories of everything I don't know. It's a lot of kind of like back and forth. Time, what does it mean? Does time repeat itself? Is it just, again, there is no circle where it repeats? It's just a continuous I don't know. It's because we've seen like Kid Aaron in trailers since the last season ended, and it's like, and that kid was talking about freedom. So what is that kind of referring to? Is that another reincarnation of Aaron reflecting on, oh wow, I did it and now I can go on? But it's like, so does he have all his past memories, and then does everything? I don't know. And then is everybody just reborn? Like he gets a kid Mikasa, kid Armin, he gets his parents back, but then it'd be different because like, does he now live with Zeke because there was nobody over there to then send people over the walls? I don't know. It's a lot of moving pieces. Um, and I'm curious who makes it to the end of this story. Like, how do they take him down? Just from just a sheer number standpoint, you figure it wouldn't be possible. Just in my like, even though they've had a handful of Titans on their side, I just don't. There's just the sheer numbers. I don't see how it would be possible. I hope it's not Levi doing anything crazy. You know, he's one of my disliked characters. Hopefully they kind of keep him on the sideline. Maybe he kills a couple Titans, but nothing too crazy. Does Aaron, you think, flinch or have second thoughts about this, or does he fully complete the mission? Does Mikasa end up having to kill him? Does he let himself be killed? And is he going to kill Eldians in the process of this? He's not going to be able to distinguish. I mean, maybe he could. And, like, it'd be hard if, like, an Eldian is trapped in an area with the non-Eldians and the Colossals are going through. How is he going to make sure he doesn't kill... Like, there's going to be Eldian casualties, too, in my opinion. Hopefully we'll see some death. I mean, we're gonna don't get me wrong, we're gonna see a lot of death, but I wouldn't mind like of this Avengers assembled group, the Hanji, the Levi, the Mikasa, the Armin, the Jean, the Connie, uh, Reiner, Annie, Gabby, Falco. I don't want all them to survive to the end of this. Like if they get reborn, reincarnated, and all aliens get to live in peace, sure, that's whatever. It would be hard for me to believe, like with what's going on, how they all could just come out of this unscathed. You know. We'll see. At least we get to do this one more time, so this isn't the end. So after this, if you're only here for Attack on Titan content, I will see you again when it comes back around. Let's get into it. We're talking episode 1 type shit right there. Oh! Chapter 1, the rumbling. God almighty. And like he isn't just like having a dream the whole time, right? It's not like Kid Aaron that's like, wow, I just had the wildest dream, and that's why he was crying and none of this ever happened. This is when his emotions were still there. Yeah. Yeah. This is when his emotions were still intact. Oh! Over here scaling the mountains and shit. Yeah. There's gonna be so much destruction even by the time the squad shows up. He's gonna have killed 30% of the continent. Or let's not say 30% of the population. He's gonna have trampled 30% of the continent itself. How many of the population he gets? I don't know. Okay, so it's gonna be like this for an hour straight. Because it's just been straight, like, just deadpan face, no emotion. I must complete the mission. This is all that matters. Do you remember what you went through? This is why we do this. We didn't see the time in between him finding out Historia's memories at the end of season 3, and then him just becoming the cold, I cut off my own leg, I stabbed myself in my eye, Reiner, I'm just like you, I have to do this. We didn't see the between of that. And it's interesting to, that he's struggling with it, because you saw him crying about it at the end of season 3 when he's like, if we go over there and kill everybody, does that really mean, like... So I am curious, has he seen that this does it? Oh my god, you got people locked in jail cells? It's his grandparents. It's his grandparents. His grandparents. But has he confirmed like this gets it done? This means we win. Or has he still not even seen past this? I don't know. I don't know. People just burning from the fucking steam. There's that statue. Look at this dude. Thinking he's really about some shit. Wow. Is there no way you can get wider than them? Is there no way I can like go lateral to be outside of them? Probably not, bro. Yeah, who's running that train? And it'd be sheer dumb luck if you somehow didn't get stepped on and there was a space in between. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at his little ass legs. I'm not even a trained scout, but I could walk up behind him and take those legs out. Holy shit. Wow. Man decided to take himself out. I don't blame him. I mean, go out your own way. Both are going to be painless. That's from the trailer. He doesn't have much time left anyway. I forgot about that. A lot of them are on a time crunch, by the way. Like a lot of these shifters, they don't have much years left anyway. We never did get that Mikasa Annie 1v1 ever, did we? That's something we never got. We never got that 1v1. Them in human form or her powered up versus Mikasa. I still agree with that plan. I agree with Zeke's plan. Not one of you pieces of shit, Armin, Hanji, Mikasa, anybody has given or said anything plan-wise. Y'all got anything you could offer? Nothing. So, until someone presents me with a different idea or plan, Zeke's plan was humane. Nobody had to die. You just wouldn't be able to procreate after that point. But everybody gets to live out their life. Like, hey, yeah, you don't need me to ramble about it. Are you? Who the fuck is that? Oh! Oh! Damn it, man. I was hoping he'd get one or two. I was hoping he would. Flock. Respect, bro. You probably end within my top 10 characters for sure, if not top 5, bro. You're a... You're a real one, man. Did he damage it enough? Oh! Oh... That man Flock, bro. I'm talking about. You handle it. At this point, I want Eren to just flatten it all. Flatten all of it. One of the best arcs of any character in the whole entire show was Flock. And we only got, what, a season of him? A season and a half of him? It's not like he was involved in a lot of episodes either. Alright, good. I was wondering where that water came from. I was like, did the kids try to get... Did they go in to come back out? Damn. Let's hear it, Armin. I mean, what do you mean? You just have to fight. What do you mean you slow them down? There's one of you. You're gonna have to really start thinking some shit. Because there's been a lot of commanders that have sacrificed themselves, and you've been lifted, and you have yet to show anything mentally since that point. So I'm gonna need you to... No more of this like, Gene, can you take over, or I need a moment to think. Show us why you were chosen. But I'm curious, like, what is she gonna do? What's the play here? Like, how much time does she really buy them before she just gets, like, squished? Where they're slapped out of the air, stepped out of the air, like, what's the play here? I mean, this is a dream for her. She could only dream of a setting like this. And, like, I don't know if Aaron can individually control them. Like, can he just make all of them just emit steam at one time if he were to see, like, a bunch of them getting cut down? Could he be like, oh, nah, not fucking today, and just have them all steam, or have them all be on alert, or swipe? I don't know. I think it's just a mindless, like, button of, like, you've been programmed to go from here to here. Follow your orders. And, like, that's it. I don't think they're purposely, like, swiping houses or grabbing anything or emitting steam. It's just like, you move and you don't stop moving. Okay, they're giving her some animation work. Shit, another one of those. I'm gonna take out the whole damn plane in a minute. They don't even have a full tank. Damn, Flock. I was really hoping you took that thing out, but good on you, man. I'm glad he got a moment there in the end. I thought he really did take that ship out. That would have been something. That would have been really something had he really taken that ship out. Oh god, some of them are, like, they're all just emitting some serious steam. Remember, like, Bearholt's go-to in the back of the day was, like, if you ever got close, he just really pumped that shit. Rest in peace to Hanji. Flock. No more ride or die than you, man. Did Gabby and Falco remained on that ship, right? How did they even get, like, but then how did they even escape? How, the ship, the one with the people on the ship, how the hell did they even get out? Okay, they're moving pretty well. Maybe they're staying out of the water. That's about the only thing. The two kids remained on the ship. Two kids on the ship. They had me there for a moment. I was like, wait, the hell? She was asking too, you know, I wonder if they're watching us. At this point, I'm just... Levi is going to take out Zeke because he's just going to have to fulfill that promise. Like, it's kind of whatever. But I'm kind of over that storyline of, like, Levi still determined to, like, I get it, but... Guys, Eldian saved the entire world. They did it. Eldian saved us. You know, they're like, is he going for that? So the rest of the world is like, oh my god, Eldian saved us. We don't have to, you know, subjugate them anymore. They're just like us. They protected the world and all of us. Or is it like he knows what's at the end of the road, so you guys could have all your powers and all your memories if you want. I know how it ends. I don't know. He could blink them out of there if he wanted to. Like, you don't have to let them play with your mind like this, you know? He blinked them in there. He could blink them back out. Don't let them crack your mental now. In order to obtain freedom, I will take freedom. Wow. Ah, he's not going to take anything from them. Like there's... Yeah, why did you want to see if they could change your mind? If you want to, so that's pretty much it. If you want to stop him, yeah, kill me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. If you want to stop me, kill me. So you've gotten your answer then. That's your answer. Why do we have to experience loss before we can start respecting and understanding others? Ah, so he has... Oh, is that why his Titan looks like that? Because he's manifesting qualities of the Beast Titan? Oh gosh. Very interesting, because before this started, I don't think I brought it up when I was reviewing, like about to start. I almost said like, well, everything's pretty much point blank, right? Like it's cut and dry. There's no more hidden Titan abilities. Nobody's gonna manifest something. No one's gonna be able to stop time, future time, go back time, change anything, influence anything. It's just like what we have is what we have. It's this versus that. Like just muscle v muscle. But we still have Titan ability in play. Oh Lord. Eh? Oh, people are really starting to repent here. People are really starting to say like, hey, we were wrong. A little late. Nobody... But yeah, just like the woman said, why do we always have to experience loss before we can start relating to others? The only reason he's saying this shit is because of what's happening right now. He could have said this whenever, and the world could have started changing their views, but before all the colossals. But if you take him out, what the fuck did he just summon there? I was like, oh, they ain't got enough bricks in their back pocket to take out all of them. Right in the name. But again, with the... He just spawn Zeke? Bro, what? He's spawning Zeke and using the Warhammer Titan abilities to create things for him to throw. Like, I don't even understand. Like, if you take him out, like, I don't understand what that is. Like, I'm guessing, like, is that really Zeke, or is that just Aaron manifesting the Zeke, the Beast Titan? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like, if they kill that Beast Titan right there, like, does that mean, like, Zeke's done? There's no more physical connection between him and Zeke? Like, it's over? Like, that's it? It's that easy? I don't know. They'll never be able to keep up with that agility. Yeah. I mean, we're already on Aaron. Like, we're on his ass. He's like, if you could stop me, stop me. I mean, bro, they're right there. It's not like, oh, I see them. Like, they're on your ass. Where you landing that, by the way? Oh, shit. He's going to come down really hard. He's going to stall in the middle of the air. Well, they're there. I'm so curious how this is about to go, because this seems like it's about to be way too easy. Like they're on him. Is that it? Oh wow. Let's see, is there any after credit anything? Let's double check and make sure. No after credit thing. Okay. So for me that's that's the shot of the entire thing for sure. There's some different shots, but that's a good close up. I guess we'll kind of speak to the ending. Maybe I'm underestimating what Eren might be capable of here. Um because it seems like I was so curious on like how the hell are they even actually going to get to him? They could get around him, just follow the miles long cloud of steam and the massive colossal titans. But how are they actually going to physically be able to get to him? Like, I just don't see how they're going to be able to. Well, drop in overhead. He doesn't have any protection from overhead. But there are multiple people physically on him. Multiple of them have Titan abilities. I am so curious how this just doesn't end with like them just like bop bop taking his ass out in like 5 or 10 minutes. Seems like a lot for him to deal with. Now again, we could be underestimating. Maybe I'm underestimating. Um, and that thing with Zeke there, like, but then he also disconnected Zeke at the same. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's actually physically Zeke, because I was curious of like, okay, did he just like forcefully command Zeke to transform? And then kind of like tethered him to there, but then he was also pumping in other abilities, and he transformed. So either he physically transformed Zeke and then used his Warhammer Titan abilities to then manifest abilities coming out of Zeke, or maybe it wasn't so much coming out of Zeke as it was him just using the Warhammer ability to manifest something, and it just happened to be manifesting in Zeke's hand, which kind of made it look like Zeke was doing it. Which probably might be the way it went. But if he was physically manifesting Zeke there to transform, and they just disconnected him, like that's actually Zeke in that Beast Titan body. We just disconnected with Zeke, no? Like we don't have the connection to do what we've been needing to do, no? But then, and the reason I say that was because I was under the impression that now that he's kind of made this pact with Ymir, he doesn't need Zeke anymore for his royal blood. Like they don't need to be touched. Well, I guess they do need to be touching because he wouldn't be able to have access to the paths. But I say that, but at the same time, I was like, well, now that he's made this pact, maybe Ymir's just decided to override all that shit. Like Eren can come and go into the path as he pleases. He's got full control. He doesn't need the royal blood connection. But then what makes me pause on that was the conversation that Annie was having with Gabby and Falco about having Zeke's memories and female Titan being able to manifest things. And I'm still connected to Zeke, so it's making me think that like they're going to be able to influence Zeke somehow that will backfire on Eren. So if that is true, like Annie is going to somehow do something that affects Zeke that in turn affects Eren. And I'm guessing Zeke still is a major physical piece that Eren needs to be able to carry out what he's doing. I kind of got under the impression like I think he got all. I think after Ymir was like, "Here, take this," so I thought Zeke was just like useless. It's like, hey, I'll keep him around to use his Beast Titan ability, but he doesn't physically need Zeke to be there. But then after Annie and Colt, after Annie and Falco and Gabby had that conversation, I'm kind of like, well, maybe there is a way that Zeke can stop Eren. I was curious when Grisha was kind of making that plea. It was kind of just, who else is he going to plea to? Grisha in that moment, he can't tell anybody like, hey, please stop Eren. So it made me think like, man, maybe Zeke somewhere down the line does have a part to play. Besides that, we had a lot of moving parts. The opening sequence was really pretty like crazy and depressing, but also great to see at the same time because there was a time gap between the end of season 3 and the start of season 4. We went from At the time, we didn't know. He kissed Astoria's hand and all that type of shit. It just kind of ended off with the end of season 3 of him kind of like looking really kind of sad and asking the question, if we go over there, kill everybody, like, will that give us our freedom? And at that point, you didn't know what that meant. As far as like it leading this, you just kind of knew, maybe if they go over there and they do kill, because we had just seen the flashbacks and everything, so I was like, oh, maybe if they go over there and get rid of Marley, they will, but we didn't know it was going to like result to this. But we didn't see the manifestation of what happened to him between there. Um, we saw a little bit flashbacks of it. When we flash back to him kind of coming up on that village, and they had that night with those people, and he was asking Mikasa like, "What am I to you?" type stuff. That was the only little bit we got. But we didn't get the like him just turning into like the I must fight. I was born into this world. I cut off my own leg. I take out my own eye to get this shit done. Um, Influencing his own father to kill children and like do things. We never saw like what kind of toll that took on him, and now we saw it here a little bit with him talking to that kid, and then you open up the same episode with that kid then being squished by Eren, or rumbled by Eren, however you want to describe that. That was pretty. That was greatly presented. I thought that was pretty great. Flock, one of my favorite characters in the entire show. Probably in my top 5, definitely in my top 10. Um, but him, Zeke, Reiner, like he's up there. I mean, he's a great, great character. Um, we didn't even get that much of him. What did we get of him? A season and a half? Because we really didn't even understand or know who his character was until that Erwin speech episode, really. And then that was the end of the season, damn near. So what did we get him for, like 2 or 3 episodes then? Got him a little bit in season 4. I just thought it was like a great character realization and a great turnaround, and I was hoping, but I mean, again, it was the same kind of thing I brought up right before they showed him of Flock can't succeed here in damaging this ship, killing some of the main characters because there would be no story. Unfortunately, the people he's going up against have main character plot armor. He's not going to be able to take them out. He's not going to be able to stop the ship. He's not going to be able to kill any of them. It just kind of is what it is. But yo, boy, was he moving at the end of season 4. Like, that man was moving. Then to see him go out here, I was like, whoa. I thought he really did take out that ship. I was like, damn, good on you. They gave him a final moment, but unfortunately, it still ended. They still got to their destination in the same thing, so he didn't really achieve what I was hoping he would achieve in the end. But he still fought. He could have easily been left off to the side, but like I think Hanji said he hung onto the ship the whole time and still made it out there. I mean, big ups to him. Um, Hanji sent up. So we lost 2. I guess you could say non-main, non. I guess you would put Flock as a side character, but I'd honestly put Hanji in the same breath. The only difference I would give is like we've known Hanji since season 1. But I feel like her impact on the story towards the last couple seasons was not as big as like the things Flock was doing, the way he was kind of moving behind the scenes. So they gave Hanji her moment. Pretty cool. Getting roasted is not a great way to go. The Yelena conversation, was that to show that like she was like double crossing, not crossing, but like she was like triple spy in the shadows, to the point where like I think the only 3 people in existence that knew what was to come and what was going to happen was Flock, Yelena, and Eren. No, because she was over here, she was giving commands of, this is what you're going to want to strike, this is what you're going to want to do. But she was under the impression it was going to be like a mini rumble with maybe Zeke's assistance. But I do agree with her, and maybe there are better solutions if you could give Armin some time, let him maybe come up with something. But I mean, I don't know. He's dropped the ball sometimes on having to come up with things. But maybe if you got the world leaders and Eren and Armin and Hanji in a room, you might be able to come up with something. But slim chance in hell that's ever going to happen. So my follow-up question, which I've still yet to see anybody online present, which I mean I can't go look too deep online because you'll get spoiled. Um, what is your plan? You didn't like Zeke's plan, which to me was the most painless, humane way to do it. Stop the just segregation, subjugation, um, oppression. Everyone can just live out their days, you know, and that's just gonna be it. We just won't be able to reproduce, and that'll be kind of be the end of the Eldians. But I mean, you don't want to hear that. But clearly, something has to be done. So the only other solution I've seen is Aaron's. So do you agree with this? Yelena was like, straight up, can we agree that like Zeke was so? And I guess I mean there's only kind of three options we've been presented with: Aaron's, which is happening, Zeke's euthanization plan, and then three would just be to continue going on how it's been going. You're kind of finding out a little bit more information about the world and what they're able to do. So maybe you're better. The island is better off defending themselves. But then you still got the people on the mainland that are being they're being subjugated. So, I guess that could have been option three, but I'm still with Zeke's option, and I've yet to see anything presented differently. Um, so we had the Flock stuff, the Hanji death, um, the Yelena kind of like revelation there. Annie just deciding she's out of it, but because I was real curious about that, I'm like, I was thinking about it in the moment. I was like, I guess she's really done, but there's just no way that like she was such a main like thing in season one. Then you put her on ice, literally put her on ice for seasons two, seasons three, um, pretty much season four. You know, she thaws out there at the end, just for her to be like, nah, I'm out. Um, so it looks like there is going to be a part for her to play in this. Um, so I'll be interested to see kind of how that goes. Uh, I'm really glad. I'm really happy Gabby and Falco got left behind. Because you know how kids what they do with kids in movies and animes and TV shows. They always like sneak their way on to like a ship or cargo when they're supposed to be left behind, and then they always like do something or get in the way or get somebody killed or get themselves killed. Like you know how that shit goes. Like Torfin all over again. Like bro, why? Why must kids be the way they are? So I'm glad that they really did get left behind. Um, and besides the opening part where we're seeing like Aaron's mind connecting with that kid, telling him like he's sorry, I would say the highlight of the episode for me was Aaron pulling them in, and he's like, I'm not going to stop. And I like to see that because I don't want the classic like talk the bad guy out of it. And that is if you're in the camp of Aaron is the bad guy here. There's a lot of people that I've seen kind of accept that he's the bad guy, but they're riding with him regardless, which I'm kind of in that camp as well. Um, but I would say there was an alternative with Zeke's option, but here we are. So I'm Team Aaron at this point. I hope he burns it all down. I hope all of them die. I hope every single one of them die. Armin, Mikasa, Levi, Reiner, the lot of them, just take them all out. That's not going to happen. But if you told me to pick a side and an outcome, that's kind of the outcome I would be. But I do like that. So does that mean like he can listen into them like at any point? He's listening in because he pulled them in at that exact moment when they were trying to like come up with something like, can we stop him? He decided to pull him in then. So has he been like overhearing and listening this whole time? I have absolutely no idea. Um, but I liked how he was just like, I'm not gonna stop. So you either take me to my last breath or you just kind of go along with it. And I do like how, because I was asking the question like, does he want to be stopped? Does he want Eldians to kind of be like seen to the rest of the world like, oh my god, Eldians saved us. They saved us from the devil, Eren Yeager, who trampled the world. And like that puts Eldians maybe in a better light for the remaining world that's left. You've already took out 50% of the world's population. But that's a slippery slope because you don't know how they're going to react. Because if he dies, he doesn't get to see what happens past that point, as far as like all his future, past type shit. And who's to say that like they're just like shit? did you see, like, you see Eldians are devils. Look what they did, destruction. Kill every single, like, they really ramp it up. It's kind of tough to see there. But I do like how he was like, I'm not stopping, but I'm also not one to take away your free will. So, like, you're free, I'm free. Make whatever decisions you want. But that's an interesting play because it's like, I understand he doesn't want to, like, do anything that would put Eldians down or take away their free will. But, like, this is the path that you've chosen. What are you gonna? Are you fine with just all this destruction you've, like, the downloading process of this destruction, you got it all the way to 70-80% just for your friends to kill you? Like, you did all this for that? Like, all that you're doing right now, the children that you're killing, the pregnant people, everything we saw him kind of like really getting sad about there, you're okay with like half-assing that plan and like not seeing it through? Like, because you could just shut them off completely, like shut off Aaron and Mikasa. I mean, Armin and Mikasa, put their asses to sleep. Reiner, Levi, all that shit, and just finish what you've got to do. It's really wild that he would even allow. I understand, like, he's like, I'm not gonna, shackle you as like the rest of the world will. Stop me if you think you can stop me, but you're gonna have to kill me to do so. Like, you committed to, like, you pushed all the chips in, like, it's happening right now. Remember what you were crying about and the sight that you saw and you couldn't believe that you did that? You're gonna half-ass it and have them take you out halfway through. I don't know. I mean, that's how it's presented and that's what he said. So we'll see. I'm assuming they are gonna take him out because it seems way too, like, this was way too easy to get like in physical contact with him. Like, they're on his shit. So how he plans to deal with that, and he's just a big ass slow moving target. That's why Zeke is always gonna have a problem with people in ODM gear, especially like Levi, Mikasa, and shit. Like, you're just too big and slow of a moving target. Now, where do they cut is the question. But I don't know. It seems very risky to have all of them right there, healthy, ready to go on him. We'll kind of see how that plays out. Probably the best quote of the entire episode was the late, I forget her name, the actor, Mikasa's clan type stuff. Um, she's like, why do people have to die for us to start? I forget the exact quote, but why do people have to die for us to start, relating and respecting others? Which is, I mean, how shit goes in real life today. Like, people hate certain peoples, religions, skin colors, whatever you want it to be. But like, it takes tragedy, and this could be within your own family. Like, you and your family members might not talk, you and your friends might not talk, but it takes something tragic in y'all's life that, like, maybe you lose a family member that's close to both of you, or you a friend that was close to both friends. And oh, it takes like a funeral and a tragic event to like bring you back together. But like, why does that have to be a thing? But it's, I mean, that's just life. That's human. Like, that's just kind of what happens. So we saw her saying that, and then you see the man on the speaker saying it. He's like, this was our fault driving them, and now the devil's here, and oh my God, Eldians are here to actually fight for us and save us. It's like, bro, y'all did this. He would have never spoken like that. The rumbling never showed up. They still would have been prosecuting and doing the same shit that they were doing, creating child soldiers and shit, running the rest of the world under oppression and like whatever. But now that shit hits the fan, he's like, oh, this was our doing. Adults, this was like, we were a little late for that, buddy. A little late for that. Besides that, though, great stuff. So I think I've been told it's coming out in the fall. The other like hour, which is supposed to be the final part. I'll be strapped in and I'll be here for it. Pretty much enjoyed all of that. Kind of got my hopes up and then it fell off a little bit. And you saw this a little bit with season 4 too, which is, I mean, we have to be subjective here. Attack on Titan is my favorite anime, not even close. Whatever I have it 2, I don't know what I have it 2 and 3 off the top of my head. I have to really sit down and kind of like break it down. But like, it's like Attack on Titan's here, 2 through everything else is like down here. Um, but the opening like 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes that they had with Aaron and the kid and his little brother that lost his hand, it was animated very, very well. It looked very well. Um, and then with the whole getting the plane ready and Armin talking to Annie and them getting everything ready, the anime animation and art looked pretty bad at some points, just weakly drawn. Especially when Falco was crying in his bed and Reiner was, I think, consoling Connie on the like some of the line work and stuff looked pretty rough. Which is a shame because I remember when I first started reacting to Attack on Titan season one of the things that pulled me in, besides season one just being great from a story point, I loved those thick ass lines that Attack on Titan had. Like that drew me in even more. Um, so it looks like they budgeted some of like where to put it and where not to put it. Like some of like, see, like Eren looks great right here. And then the kid Eren looked great. Anything in the paths dimension kind of looked great as well. Some of it was a little wonky there at some spots. Um, but I think we covered everything. The opening and Eren seeing, his mental kind of collapse. Anji's sacrifice, Flock trying to get one last moment. Um, Annie getting left behind, but it looks like she still might have a part to play with her manifesting and her connection. Um, and we ended off with the group making physical contact with Eren. I was under the impression, like, how the hell are they even going to get close to him? But they just airdropped in here. And there were nice intricacies and conversations in between. But for the most part, it's I'm very curious how it ends because I'm still waiting for the story because and that's how classic shonen go, and it's just kind of par for the course. Like things get stale and stories get old, and a lot of animes are all the same, just with different colors and different names these days. It's your classic like triplet set. It's always going to be your Naruto, Sasuke, um, Sakura. It's always going to be your Inosuke, your Zenitsu, your Tanjiro. Like it's always going to be your Deku, Bakugo. Like there's always going to be like your groupings that you always kind of have, and it's the same thing. And you're usually always able to talk the bad guy down, or there's something in the past that you can connect with that makes him like rethink or decide to join your side to take out a bigger bad. You know how it goes. So Attack on Titan has been great because it doesn't hit that same just note of every other anime for me. And I've brought up the argument a lot. And maybe I feel like Attack on Titan's getting more recognition today than it did when I was going through it because I started all my anime reactions late. Attack on Titan had been out for a while. Like the first two seasons had been out for a while. I think I started season 3 right on start. No, not sure. Um, but I've always made this argument. But I think it gets a lot more recognition today. I've had people in my personal life that I didn't even know watch anime that have watched Attack on Titan and they think it's one of the most amazing stories like they've ever seen. Like, wow, dang, I didn't hear that a while ago, but I'll die on that hill to this day. If Attack on Titan looked like Naruto or looked like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen or Hunter x Hunter with flashy colors and all everybody was in different colors and could do this all type of things and had like cute characters and flashy names and all this kind of stuff and like merch you could sell like a pink character walking around and shit like that, I think it would be on everybody's. Like it would be so much more marketable. But like, what are you selling? Like just tan jackets and just gloom and doom. um, but I do like that Attack on Titan's not on that like regular kind of path. I'm very curious how it ends. If it ends with them having to kill him, I'm fine with that. I just really I like I hope he keeps the fucking thumb down. Like if you say they can't talk you down, don't let them talk you down. Um, and I still don't even know how time is even working right now because we see the kid version of him. We got two instances in this of like looking up above the clouds, like the sun there. It was Kid Eren, but is that future Kid Eren? Is that just his kid self in manifestation? I don't know. And then um, Falco makes the same comment as well. And I think they showed the same image of like being up above the clouds and all those type of things. So again, I don't know like what happens with time and because I don't know if it's gonna be like a repeat thing where like we talked about at the beginning, you just have the circle of like Eren's mom gets eaten, We go through all the training, we do what we gotta do, we loop back around, he gets his story, his memories, he does what he has to do, it connects, boom, the rumbling happens, boom, big bang, bop, bop, boom, Eldians again, but this time there's no Titans, there's no prosecution, subjugation. Or does like the world just go forward? Like, are there gonna be like, does everything just go forward from here? There's gonna be no more Titans? Is it just gonna be paradise? That's the only population left in the world? Does time restart? Does he see past this? Are there Titans? Has he seen how this ends? Because I would think for the normal mind, for him to go through with this, I would have to know that this succeeds. Or I would have to know that my actions of doing this lead to something that succeeds. Because I would assume that he can't see past the point of his death, but I honestly do not know. We don't know if there's going to be more Titans after him. So has he seen another user's memories to see what the world is like then? I also don't know. Or has he just seen complete checkmate victory? Because when I kiss a story his hand, and say he's seen up to this moment of like rumbling through and facing off against his own friends on his back, and that's like where it stops. Would you still go about it? Or would you try to, what could I do to stop this? But then it's also another thing, it's like I might be being controlled and pushed in certain ways to make sure this happens, even if you wanted to go against it, because you're not showing me absolute victory. Or like facing off against my friends, if like that's as far as you showed me. And it depends what you're actually trying to show me. I'm not going to show you that you're facing off against your friends. The same way I'm not going to show you Hanji dying or Sasha, or Zeke yelling and turning all the other Eldians into Titans. I don't know. We're getting into a lot of deep. Like I didn't think we were still going to have like deep Titan power, ability, time discussions. But it looks like that's still playing. It's great. It's great. We'll go ahead and leave it there. I'm gonna end up going for 2 hours, but you know how that Attack on Titan goes. Great stuff. If you're just here for Attack on Titan, I appreciate you. We'll see you back again for the final part in the fall. I'm always open for discussion, so you guys feel free to go crazy in the comments. And if you're here just for your regularly scheduled programming, this will be up on Sunday. We will have Zerk and Last of Us on Monday. I don't know when I'm getting this My Hero up. It'll be up sometime during the week. This just took more importance. But it'll be up before the next episode comes out, and you guys know the rest of the deal. Tuesday, One Piece. Wednesday, Monster. Thursday, One Piece. Then we're on the final episode of Chainsaw Man this week on Patreon. We'll finally be on episode 12 and have that wrapped up. Start looking into Vinland Saga season 2 or Mob Psycho season 3, and let's go from there. Appreciate it, everybody. Subscribe as always.